Today's video, I want to talk about what is really important in life. As I've gotten older, this is something I've realized um, more and more, like day to day. As you go through the monotony of just being a slave and working, corporate job, pays well, good benefits, the golden handcuffs, so to say, right? Um, this could be the same for any, doesn't have to be a corporate job, right? It could be any type of job where you got to punch in, punch out, work. And I'll tell you right now, I got it pretty good. I mean, I got a pretty good job. I work remote, make six figures a year, got good benefits, good retirement. Everything is set up. I'm solid. No worries in the world right now. But that's all good. Once you have your baseline of happiness and you have everything kind of figured out, what is the next thing that you're doing? What are you working on? Do you have a purpose in life? Outside of work, what are you doing? Are you spending time with your family? Do you have kids? Are you doing a lot of traveling, right? The important things in life that people emphasize when you're younger, as you get older, are just completely opposite of what you thought. When you're younger, right? I can think back when I was in high school or early 20s, really wanted just a lot of money, and I didn't have any reason to understand why do I want a lot of money. Well, you think back oh, maybe I can buy some cool stuff. I can buy a fancy car or a nice house and all that stuff. And then you think as you're older, you're yeah, you get all that stuff, and then it's just more work, more things you got to worry about. Okay, now you got a fancy car. Well, now you got to repair the fancy car when it's broken. You get a Lamborghini. The maintenance on that thing is crazy, probably tens of thousands of dollars a year just to maintain the thing. So it's just a headache in that sense. Then you get a big house, you get a bigger house, and then now you gotta have landscaping for that. Now you got to heat that place, and now you got to pay property taxes on that. So as you acquire more wealth, people tend to scale their spending. So there's a correlation between income, um, income and spending. As your income increases, you generally tend to spend more because you have more disposable income, more money to put to work on, buying different things. Obviously, investments are super important, but going back to the point of when you're younger, you really have no money, right? You don't, a couple $100, right? Maybe you work a job, you make minimum wage, and I remember when I worked minimum wage back in the day, it was $7.25 an hour. So not a lot of money at all. Maybe making a couple $100 every 2 weeks, right? Because I was obviously in school working, can only work so many hours, and then you kind of move up, and I worked in a gym for a little bit and did that after school. So my whole life I've worked, right? I've worked very hard to get to where I'm at in life, and I'm super grateful. Super grateful. Never would have thought that my life would end up where I'm at right now. And I went through a lot to get to the point where I'm at. And the things that you emphasize when you're younger that you think are important, when you get to a point where I'm at now, I'm man, I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. Sure, I do like to dress nice. I like to buy nice clothes, stuff that lasts a while, right? Instead of buying cheaper clothes, I buy more expensive clothes, but the clothes last longer, and it's something that I look at a piece I'll have it forever. So you look at things a little bit differently, right? Like you look at how much value that thing's going to add to your life, and is it a good investment for the long term, right? I kind of look at that with like anything, right? Like the water I drink, like this is empty, obviously, but I mean, Pellegrino, like I love to drink Pellegrino. It's good water, it's expensive, but I value my health and my fitness over a lot of things, right? Like if you don't have your health and fitness, nothing else really matters. So that's like super important to me, right? Like I like to spend money on things that are going to improve my life and make me healthier, more level-headed, just more happiness, right? Like those are the things I like to spend money on versus like when you're younger, you think like, man, like I want to buy like, whatever it is, like you spend all your money on like Jordan shoes, right? Or like designer clothes or just buying a BMW or a Mercedes or some type of car that, maybe you can't afford at the time. But you get it because, like, you want to look like you have it all put together and you want to look rich, right? You put a kind of a facade on. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people want to keep up with the Joneses or they want to, show themselves in a certain way. But really, man, like, none of that matters. It does. Most people, most people are so focused on themselves that they don't even care what your kind of car you're driving or what you're wearing. Yeah, of course, there's going to be the exception. There's going to be some people, but most people are just going through their day thinking about themselves, how they're going to, maybe feed themselves, feed their family, or, what are they going to be doing for this weekend, and like, what are their plans going to be, right? So, like, if you're doing this to show off or for other people, like, you're already doing it for the wrong reasons, right? Like, so like my mindset has shifted like a lot since I've been younger, and like really just focusing on what is really important, right? Like to me, strong connections with friends and family, super important. You want to have deep relationships with family and friends, um, and even acquaintances, people at the, you go to a gym, you go to a country club, whatever. Like you want to be a likable person, somebody that, people want to talk to and have conversation with. It's natural, doesn't feel forced. So like connections are super important. It makes you feel good, man. Like when you have good friends, like I have a lot of good friends that I've grown up with over the years, and like I can count on both hands the amount of friends that good friends that I have. Like I'm going to a bachelor party this upcoming weekend. It's going to be amazing. Like, and I've been like a lifelong friend of this person for so long, right? And we met through one of my really good friends, who I'm still really good friends with as of today. So it's like, you want to keep those connections going. So I would say, like, for me, number one, like having good connections, good people, good relationships with their family, all that stuff, right? Like that's super important, right? And then like the other things are like you want to have a sense of purpose, like as as a human being, like you need to have purpose in life. If you don't have purpose in life, like it's hard to be happy. You want to be, you know, just with the work you're doing, right? Like maybe you might not have the most glamorous job, right? Maybe it's not the best thing, but you want to put 100% into everything that you do, right? You want to feel good about the work that you're doing. Maybe you're striving for that next move that you want to make, So like hard work and good work ethic will carry throughout all of your jobs, and that's something I've learned. Like I started at the bottom, man. Like I started out bagging groceries, taking carts in, like the bottom of the totem pole. And I've worked myself up to a place now where I work at one of the big banks in America. I have a really good job, like very blessed for where I'm at. But like I worked a lot and I worked hard to get to where I'm at. Got a associates, bachelor's, and master's degree. Like, put a lot of time into schooling, a lot of time teaching myself, learning skills, like things that are transferable to, or things that are of value to corporations, and they want to pay you a good amount of money to do. So I've put myself in that position. So you want to have a sense of purpose in the work that you do. You want to be, somebody who's creative. Maybe you like to make YouTube videos, right? Or, there's so many ways to go about finding purpose in life. Some people find it through a lot of different means, but I think it's important that everybody has some sense of purpose in their life. And just going back to what I was talking about earlier, like drinking the Pellegrino, like just your health. Health and fitness is something that has got me through so many things. Like, I was in a really rough spot when I was like 16, 17. I got into trouble with the police. I did some stupid stuff, and I really needed a change in my life. And I started to go back to the gym. Like, I was in the gym. Like, I played basketball throughout middle school and a little bit into high school. I played basketball, played baseball. Like, I played sports. And then you get tied up in the wrong crowd in high school and you do some stupid stuff, okay? The gym got me back on track. I attribute a lot of my success to being disciplined to the gym, working on myself, and prioritizing my health and fitness. I think that's true with a lot of people. That will get you a long way. It shows that you have grit, shows that you have discipline, it shows that you have the ability to go after a goal that you set out for yourself and to accomplish it. So if you're somebody that is in the gym, it shows to other people that you have that discipline to build your body how you want it. And that speaks for itself. So health, physical, mental, all that needs to be in check, in my opinion. Mental health, right? Huge thing in America. A lot of people are struggling with that. We have a lot of people that are lonely in America. We have a lot of people that are depressed. We have a lot of people that are on drugs. We have a lot of people that don't have families, didn't grow up with dads. Maybe we're in foster care. There's so many situations. And yeah, I have empathy for people like that, for sure. But the onus is on you to make the change in your life. Whatever situation you're in, you can find a way to better your situation and get out of it. It's obviously harder for some people than others. But man, like, you have to have some determination. And you have to want to, like, get it. You have to really want it. You think of just Bill Harvey, for example, like, was homeless, right? Came from nothing, multi-millionaire, right? Like, he worked his way out of that situation. His situation's unique, obviously. I get that. But, there is ways to, work your way up the socioeconomic hierarchy and work from having nothing into the middle class or the upper middle class or whatever, right? There's ways to do that, and that's the beauty of living in America. Okay? Capitalism allows you to do a lot of the things that get you out of these situations that you might be in. Okay? The next thing is, really, you have a freedom of choice. What I mean by that is, you want to live authentically, pursuing what sparks joy and what aligns with the values of yourself, okay? You don't want to be a follower. I was never a follower. I guess let me take that back a little. You have to be a follower to become a leader. I would say. But every follower that becomes a leader never goes back to being a follower. For me, like, sure, high school, pressure, you want to be like everybody else, you want to fit in. Even then, though, I wasn't always fitting in, right? Like, I was a little bit of an outcast for a little bit. I like to go to hardcore shows and listen to hardcore music and metal music. There was a phase of my life, and I still enjoy that music, but there was a phase of my life in high school where, like, I remember um, freshman, sophomore year, like, I was dressed totally different than everybody else, and I got made fun of for that. Um, but again, I wasn't a follower. I was living my life authentically, as I had said, and I was pursuing what brought me joy. I like to go to shows. I like to skateboard and do things that were a little bit different than what other kids were doing. And then as I got older, sophomore, junior year, like, I started to follow the crowd. I started to switch my style up. I started to dress um, more like everybody else. Like, at that time, like, hip hop, and this was like the rise of, like, Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa. Like, that was like a period of time, and I lived through that, and I kind of followed that route in a way. And maybe at that time it wasn't really authentic to me, but I wanted to change. I wanted to fit in more. I wanted to be one of the cool kids. Still enjoy that music today. I think I have a pretty good palette of music that I enjoy. I respect all music. And I think that because of the experiences I've been through, that's why I'm a well-rounded person, and I respect different things. Um, I respect different points of view, and I really do think that the choices that I've made throughout my life have really shaped me into the person that I am today, and now I am a very strong leader, right? I don't need to fit in anymore. I don't care what people think of me. I do what's authentic to me, and I pursue what makes me happy and brings me joy in my life. Okay? Now, sometimes we live life and it's just like go, 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 go. I posted a short today on YouTube talking about how as we get older, it feels like time is going by faster, faster, and faster. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physicist. I'm not any of that. But what I do know is as we get older, think about this. When you're younger, you are just experiencing new things. You're experiencing the world. You're going to new places you haven't been before. You know, these are all new experiences to you. So everything is so novel as you're going through life and you're navigating. You're going to new places, meeting new people, doing new things. As you get older, the novelty starts to go down. You have slowly, basically, gone through life and experienced pretty much everything that you possibly could have experienced in some sense, that every day is less and less novel, making it feel like the day is just going It's just flowing through because you're doing the same thing. You're working. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you're working, right? Like you're just working the corporate system and waking up, making your coffee, making your breakfast, watching a little TV, maybe reading some news articles, going, maybe driving to the office, whatever you're doing for work, maybe logging into your computer for work if you work remote, right? Like, and you're just hammering away, work, 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 same thing. And end of the day comes, maybe you leave work, drive home, sit in traffic, all that stuff that drains you, right? Or maybe you're working remote and you just shut your laptop for the day, clock out. Maybe you make some food, maybe you go to the gym or whatnot. And it's just crazy how fast life is moving and you don't even realize it because there's just less and less novel experiences coming through your life. Every day is just pretty much the same. Then you get the weekend, or you get maybe vacation days every year, and then you're doing something new. Maybe you're doing something new. And those feel great. Like you feel awesome in that time. Brings me to my next point here is you want to cherish the small moments. Like those moments that you have where you are in a new novel experience. You want to make sure that you are cherishing those moments with those people that you're with, enjoying that time, the sunsets, just being in the moment, not being on your smartphone. I see so many people, it's just like, dude, look up. Like, what are you doing? You got this beautiful sunset and you're staring into your phone. You could do that at any other point in time. Here we are, wherever you are. Maybe you're on the beach in Punta Cana, right? And like sunset, it's beautiful out. You're with your fiance, you're with your girlfriend, you're with your significant other, you're with your kids, whatever. Put the phone down and enjoy the small moments that you have because those are what really matter. And there's less and less of those as time goes through and you become somebody shackled to work and your life just becomes work, 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 work all the time. Last thing here, I'll leave you with this, is avoid empty chases. Status, wealth, pleasures that you might enjoy, I'm not going to say it on here on YouTube, will rarely bring lasting fulfillment in your life. Okay? Sure. Being the richest guy in your friend circle might feel good. Sure. Having a lot of money, having a lot of wealth might make you feel good. You ever heard of the saying, mo money, mo problems? Famous line from Biggie Smalls. Well, man, that is true. As you chase these things, these empty chases, I want to call it, you see so many people that have all of this status, all of this wealth. They have it on paper. They look like they have it all figured out. And then you just realize from all the stories that you see of all these people how lonely, how depressed, how addicted to drugs, and how unfulfilled and unhappy they are with their life. So yes, it is nice to have some level of status, some level of wealth, and some pleasure, whatever that might be for you. But you have to realize that that is a very small part of your life, and it's not going to bring you that true happiness that you're desiring. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it, man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to get on here and do a little talk. Like to just reflect on my life and talk, and this is a good outlet for me. So if you guys can relate, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Happy to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.